This audio presentation of You Are God is broadcasted to you courtesy of MindworthyInfo.com and is presented to you by yours truly, Rasheeal Dixon. The purpose of You Are God is to break down the Bible and to show you that the Bible is nothing more than allegory, and it isn't meant to be taken literally. But throughout the ages, men has been taking the Bible literally, and by doing this, they have diminished the true mystical fact that lies within the Bible. You Are God is here to break down the Bible piece by piece and to show you that all the characters, places, and events are nothing more than different states of man's consciousness personified as characters, places, and events. Brothers and sisters, thank you so much for joining me for another installment of You Are God, hosted by yours truly, Rasheeal Dixon. Please come on over to the website, MindworthyInfo.com, and subscribe. The newsletter is always filled with phenomenal teachings, and while you're on the site, check it out. You'll learn a lot more. And also, stop by the YouTube channel, Mystical Thinking with Rasheeal Dixon, and subscribe. Great things are always coming. Today, brothers and sisters, we're going to discuss Obeah, a gift from God. This wonderful practice that is misunderstood. And it's a practice that goes way back. It goes even farther back than the transatlantic slave trade, where many may know it from, but it goes way back. It goes before that. It goes all the way back to West Africa, and in many ways also to East Africa, depending on the form that you practice. You know, Obeah, especially in this part of the world, the New World, as they call it, it is a practice where it is really not understood. It's misunderstood. And it's also one of those practices where if you go online, you will find things about many other ATRs, African traditional religions or practices. But you will barely find things on it because there is a code of secrecy that covers and comes with Obeah, because Obeah is something that many people don't talk about. It is something where practitioners keep it to themselves. It's not like a church where you go to church and everyone practice. It's not a religion. It's an individual spiritual path. Some seek initiation, where if you get initiated, you get to be more like a family and have others, and you all learn together and build together, while some seek the path of doing it solo. But the thing is, when you do it solo, you have to try to practice it in a way where it is as authentic and it is as natural as can be. Because remember, Obeah is nature. It is not a practice that you're supposed to do, start, stop, do, cry. You're supposed to understand the science, and one thing about it, it evolves. Let's look at how when it came to the New World, and it was on these shores with individuals who were held in bondage for months on a ship. It was a practice that was, at first, the Obeah men and women were the medicine men, and the medicine women, they were the doctors of their day. They knew plants. They knew different type of ingredients that you can put together to heal certain sicknesses and to prevent certain things. They were great medical professionals for their day. They understood the land, understood herbs, understood what was needed in order to heal someone. And they later on were the ones who got persecuted because they were tied to slave rebellions, or they would say that it was because of the Obeah practitioner why a rebellion would happen. Understand, the system that was dealing with oppression didn't want something to come and overturn that system, because then it would wake people up and free them from their wrongdoings that they've been under, from the wrongdoings of the master. And Obeah is such a powerful practice to this day because it can adapt based on where it is found. So the form of Obeah that we teach and talk about, it incorporates a lot of biblical metaphysics. So you have to realize this. This is why it makes such a heavy use of the Bible. Imagine slaves were in a field, and the only book they were allowed to read or understand was the Bible. But yet their master thought they were reading the Bible the way that he understood it. So they had to disguise their practices in the Bible, and they saw that these teachings were teachings that aligned with them, and they knew the states of consciousness that they can tap in and bring things their way or force nature to bend to their way. This is why now, to this day, no matter who you are, no matter what form of life or what part of life, I should say, you come from or what you believe in, if you practice this science, it will always work because it is a science. And a science is something that over time, after different tests and it's been proven, you can always go to it and it will give you the results. The practitioner of Obeah can come from any race, any gender, any sexual orientation. It's just that they have to stay true to the science and know that this beautiful gift is a power that is not like any other thing, because you don't need a pastor, you don't need a priest, you don't need a reverend, you don't need an imam, you don't need a rabbi. You are that all in one. And the gift that it is comes from God. And when we know who God is in every living being. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. So knowing this and getting closer to this science, we see that the power that Obeah holds can change someone's fortune. You could go from rags to riches. You could go from no love to being loved. It has so many different features in it because it's encompassing and dealing with human feelings, human emotions, and the events that cause certain things to happen, or the things that trigger off certain events that lead to an end result. People can use it to overturn court cases. You can use it to bring back love. You can use it to heal that inner pain that you have and you don't know how to get rid of it. But once you tap into the science, you will learn the science of herbs. You will learn the science of understanding different states and spirits and how this spirit connects you to the divine that is in you, because divinity lives in every human being. But if you ask the average person about divinity now, they will put it off or outsource it to something beyond themselves. Obeah, or the form that we teach, teaches you that you and God are one and the same. God is no different from you. And when you look in the mirror, you look at the face of God. The countenance that you witness is one of severe, or one where you can bless yourself and you can cause severe harm onto another just based on certain words and certain incantations. You affirm it, you bring it to life, and it becomes real. So how we do these type of practices are in various ways. It is hundreds and hundreds of different techniques, and if you were to study it all, it would take a lifetime or probably two. So you'll have some Obeah men or Obeah women that are good at one thing, bringing back love. Then I know some who are good at causing someone's misfortune, another who is good at court cases, and then you have some that are good with a lot of things, but it's such a wide practice that it incorporates so many different avenues that one would be lost if they tried to tap into all of these avenues. But they all will always give you a great result. This is why this is a gift from God. It is a gift that keeps on giving, because depending on what your outcome is, you can bring it to life. The candles that many will use is a point of deep focus, and you speak certain psalms. The psalms have power in them because the psalms were written by illumined individuals that are supposed to be benedictions and supposed to be callings and seeking and calling on a divine help. Plead my cause, O Lord. Strive with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Keep hope. Like, this is Psalms 35. These psalms are so powerful when you see the meaning behind them and know that it is a force to be reckoned with. And the Kabbalah plays a major part in these type of Obeah, because the Kabbalah breaks down the tree of life. If we go back to the Bible in the book of Genesis, there were only two trees mentioned: the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And these two trees, when man eats from, they can get an outcome that they want And some will probably get an outcome that they don't want, but they're not aware of it because they were eating from the tree and consuming something that was giving them an outcome that they saw that wasn't desired. This is why your states of consciousness is important. If one was to get a candle or get some type of item that they want to incorporate, you also have Obeah practitioners that don't even use items. They just use the power of their mind, and they also use the power of the Psalms and certain biblical practices. That is very powerful too. It's potent. It holds its weight. And when you know these techniques, you will be a force to be reckoned with. Like if you're dealing with a case that is getting to the point where you don't know what to do, and this case is getting heavy, many will get a Bible, especially if it's like a little court case. This is for a little mild case like a traffic ticket or something. Get a Bible. Read Psalms 20 before going to the courtroom. They will also sometimes step on a piece of garlic, say their name 3 times, and don't look back until they get to the courtroom. You do this, along with Psalms 20, you will be able to get your case adjourned until eventually the case will be thrown out. Now, if it's more severe and you have prosecutors and everyone speaking against you, you can do the cow tongue spell, and that will silence people who are speaking against you, and will also silence prosecutors. It will silence anyone who will speak against you, and they will speak, but they won't make no sense. And if you want to know how to do the cow tongue spell, check out my YouTube channel, Mystical Thinking with Rasheeal Dixon, where I have a full tutorial on there about the cow tongue spell. And it shows you step by step with all the ingredients and everything that you need to bring it to life. See, this is why I really believe in this science, and belief is what also helped make it work. Like how belief makes someone believe that life is hell, and hell comes to them in more pain and everything else. If you don't believe in the science, you can consider you wasting your time. Although this is so much of a science that whether you believe in it or not, especially if you're doing the work, and say you have a target in mind and they don't believe, it doesn't matter if they don't believe. Only thing that really matters is that you as the practitioner believe. Your power lives in you. You always had the magic in you. Obeah teaches you that when you center your mind, it is an amazing thing. Like if you do the flower technique, where you just keep a rose in your mind, and you do it for 10 minutes without nothing, you'll find yourself dealing with issues where your mind is bringing other things in. But if you know how to block that out, you'll see the power that you hold. And you apply this to other areas of your life, and this intense focus becomes so intense that you'll find yourself sometime in rooms where if you get too angry, an item might fall down or something. It could get real intense. So the power that we are taught about in Obeah is that everyone has it, but everyone doesn't know how to truly focus it or basically center this power. This is why meditation and certain meditations are needed in the morning, especially with the flower and the breathing exercises where you constantly have a rhythmic pace of breathing. You hold it, you let it, you pull it in, you hold it, and there's certain words that you say and then you let it out. And this throughout the day will calm you down. It will keep you relaxed, and you will literally be able to have people come about and do your will. They will do it in a way where they're not harmed, but things will fall into place for you perfectly to where you will be astonished at all the great results that you'll get. Obeah is truly a gift from God, because anything that comes from God comes from the universe and also is funneled through the mind of man, and illumined individuals over time craft something, and it becomes a part of a tradition, or it becomes something that is so overpowering and overwhelming that those who are seeking will always go to it. Obeah is something where if you feel yourself getting dragged to it, no matter what's your race, No matter what country you come from, you will know when it's your time to get to it because it's on your mind. You find yourself seeking. You find yourself getting up, searching and looking, and you can't find the info you're looking for, but you keep searching because you're hungry. And when you're this hungry, you will feed yourself because you will know when it is time. This is a gift from God. Obeah. Amazing. I'm going to leave you with that little snippet right there, family. And I want you to listen, practice what I said, and, continue your journey because we will have more on this. It's such a beautiful thing. It's such a gift from God. Please, if you want to know the cow tongue thing and try it out and test it on your own, you will see the results. And remember those results, write them down and keep testing it. Because as you keep on developing your ability, you will become the science man or the science woman, the spiritualist that you know that you're supposed to be. So go on over to Mystical Thinking with Rasheeal Dixon and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also, come on over to mindworthyinfo.com, subscribe to the newsletter, and let's continue these teachings. Let's continue improving your life. Brothers and sisters, I thank you so much for joining me for this quick snippet of You Are God. Now, let us go into the silence. Until next time, many blessings.